Okay, guys, so today we are going to start some notes, some digital notes over functions. And function is just a fancy word for a relationship between your input and your output. And I know you've talked about inputs and outputs in 5th grade. We're going to apply those now to our variables, and we'll get to that here in a second. But if you go to slide 2, there's a video here I would like you to watch. So pause this video. Go to your slides and watch the video. And it's just giving you some definitions of the dependent and independent variable, which you have talked about a lot in science. Okay. So on this slide, you're going to identify the independent and the dependent variable. Like I said, you've done this in science. You know the dependent variable depends on the independent variable. So you're looking to see what depends on what. So on this example, it says Danny is hosting a pizza party for his basketball team. The number of pizzas he will need to order for the party depends on the number of team members who attend. So when you're thinking about this, think about what is depending on something else. Well, it tells you that the number of pizzas depends on the number of team members who attend. So the number of pizza would be the dependent variable. So P, the number of pizzas Danny will need to order, is the dependent variable. That means the independent variable is the number of team members who attend the party. So we'll drag this. I can't read this yet, so let's drag it over. P is the independent, no. T is the independent, and P is the dependent. So yes, that is the correct answer. Okay, P is the dependent variable because the number of pieces depends on T, the number of team members. Okay. The next one, Michael is purchasing watermelons for a watermelon eating contest at his company picnic. The number of people who have entered the contest determines how many watermelons Michael will purchase. So think about what depends on something else in this circumstance. Okay. The number of people who have entered determines how many watermelons Michael will purchase. Okay, so the number of watermelons, the number of people depends on how many watermelons Michael will purchase. So then the number of people depends on the number of watermelons purchased. You have to kind of reread it in your head a couple times. So the number of watermelons is the independent, which would be W. So this one. So the number of watermelons depends on how many people. So we've got that wrong. Okay, the number of watermelons depends on how many people entered the contest. So the watermelons is the dependent variable. So W is the dependent variable. Okay, another one, Ed is raking lawns to earn spending money. The amount of time it takes him to rake a particular lawn determines how much he charges for raking it. The amount of time it takes him to rake depends on how much he charges. Okay, so the fee depends on the amount depends on the amount of time he spends raking. So the fee is the dependent variable. So F is the dependent variable. Okay. Here we have a function table here. The X is what we always consider the input. The Y would be the output. Okay, so what you put in, if I put in an X, I get out a 4. If I put in a 2 for X, I get out a 4 for Y. Okay, so you can see down here, we're going to type what blank the X by blank to get Y. So what are we doing to X to get Y? 2 to 4, 3 to 6. So it looks like we are multiplying by 2. So I'm going to type that in red. Multiply the X by 2 to get Y. Okay. Over here, when X is 7,